Welcome to Keeper of Secrets Tarot. I am Gypsy Girl, here to give you another lesson for today. I've had such a long pause doing the lessons that the energy has had time to shift. We have Mercury that's come out of retrograde. We have Pluto that's shifted into Aquarius out of Capricorn. We have Uranus that is aligned with, hold on. Oh, I mixed up. I'm sorry. I just keep thinking of the Tower with our Uranus on my last lesson, and Jupiter. It's not it's Uranus and Jupiter into. That's it. It's your. This is why I don't do the astrology, because it can get complicated. But Jupiter has shifted into Taurus, and it's opposing Uranus. If I'm not mistaken, I'm not. You know what? I'm not going to talk about Uranus because I cannot remember. For some reason, I've lost that connection to where, King of Cups, to where that is. But because of that last full moon in Cancer, everything has shifted around, and it's bringing us home. It's bringing us to what we are comfortable in, or what we are seeking to find as comfort. And with our King of Cups popping out, with our Ten of Cups, it seems that marriage is on the table for many of us. And yes, we have the Lovers and we have the Four of Wands. So and then we have the confusion. So the third parties are still hanging around, and that is something that it's going to take a long time to heal these third party situations. And there's so many that have come to the surface that I'm just very curious what the lesson will be today. I mean, if you've been looking at any of the readings, it all comes down to, it's going to take a long time for couples to come back together, reconciliation, or getting into new relationships, because we want to feel comfortable. We want to feel at home in our skin again, especially if you've been in a third party situation where, the devastation is high. And that's really depending on your situation. But I thank you for showing up, for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. And I am grateful that I can come to my deck, bring out the lesson for today, and I ask Spirit to protect, keep the collective safe, and protect me and keep me safe. And here we have the Seven of Swords with the Three of Cups. So a lot of strategy going on again with the third parties. We're healing communication, telling secrets or telling lies if that's the case. And then there's that Ace of Swords. So we have an Eight of Swords broken up here, but this Ace is a victory. So it's overcoming, it's reckoning with what you've been through, telling the truth, finding out the truth, having that communication, that honest communication about what has been taking place, like trickery, thievery, and such. And then we have that Four of Pentacles for opening up and being honest. Again, the energy has shifted, and I'm grateful that I can come to my deck and bring a lesson. What is the lesson for today? Thank you, Spirit. What is the lesson for today? What does the collective need to learn today? Just another couple more shuffles, feeling like, because I haven't touched this deck in a little while, so it's going to be a bigger shuffle today. This lesson might take a little while to get me back into the momentum. What is the lesson for today? Thank you, Spirit. My old friend, the Seven of Cups. And you know, it's so funny because I was thinking about the Seven of Cups just before I picked up my deck, thinking, well, I'm wondering if that's going to be the lesson. It is the lesson. Okay, Seven of Cups. Here we go. What do we need to learn about the Seven of Cups that we haven't learned already? It's a question of cutting ties. It's a question of holding on to what does not serve you. It's a question of being confused by the many choices that we may have before us. And I have a cup of coffee that I'd like to take a sip of. See that? Seven of Cups. Okay. Lots and lots of confusion. Very emotional. We're not able to make a choice, or we have too many choices, or we want everything. We're not able to put that boundary in to see, and there's that Uranus. You see, Uranus is the one that I was a little confused by, because again, it's confusion, eh? To pinpoint where Uranus is, you would have to go and take a look. And I do apologize for messing that up. I was, for some reason, it just not sticking to me what Uranus is. I still can't recall. But that's because I've not been doing my astrology as I wanted to. I got really busy doing other things, and again, I'm apologizing. But then that's the confusion that this Seven of Cups will bring. So we know that I think we need to be a little more gentler with undoing the bond or the binding ties, because it's the only way. It's the only way to come away from this is through the Eight of Cups. You must leave. You must leave something, whether it is the arguing, whether it is the manipulation, whether it is the next party, the third person. Something has to go when we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, let's see what the Tool is. Oh, the Hermit. So the wisdom, the understanding of the confusion, the understanding of what needs to be done. Again, this is Spirit, the Hermit. That Hermit is all that we could muster up, and then Spirit will give us back to us. And again, Mercury is back in direct, as is Jupiter. So we're thinking of healing here. You know, we're connected to the healing, and we're trying to heal the confusion. We're trying to come away with a gentle healing. That's what I said earlier, where you pull away, but gently, to heal this confusion. So if it is that we are given the strength and the wisdom, that determination, because this is going deep within, this is going within the self on every level, to identify what it is that we really want, because this is what confusion brings to us, is to make a choice, because we have too many choices, or we're not able to choose. And Spirit gives us the wisdom, the know-how, that deep sense of knowing, that wanting to find the truth, or understand at least, and then communicate it with healing, because that is what this is representative of, that is all that we need. Let's see what Spirit is doing again for us, because He's given us the intuition. Okay, so we need so much more of spiritual guidance to help us come away from this confusion. That's what this is. Okay, the High Priestess, again, it is seeing through the lies, or seeing through confusion in itself, and following the instinct to go in and get away from or deal with on a different level. And again, you have to put it towards your situation if it is that you are going through confusing times. And this doesn't necessarily mean it's a third party. This is because that stories of third parties is all over the place and in the limelight now, if you will. But I don't want to focus on just third parties. Confusion is confusion. You put it to your situation where you may be confused as to where you want to go for this new beginning, this new year. Because we are at the beginning. Yeah? We're beginning, we're thinking, well, of where we were before, where I was, how I got to where I am, and where I'd like to go, and if I want to go alone, if I want to be with someone, if I want to be with the person that I'm with, etc. So the confusion is on a personal level. And again, it is about healing deep within, where we come to reckon with what is the confusion. And that is what this is all about here. And then, of course, the moon brings us timing. It brings us a more confusion, if you will, because things are hidden from us, and that is on purpose. Spirit will only allow us to see, no matter how strong you think you are in your intuition. If Spirit doesn't want you to see something, you're not going to see it, and there is no magic wand that you could wave that could break that. Okay, but Spirit is giving us all of what we need to help us get through. And of course, this is for our protection. What we are not able to handle, Spirit will not allow us to see or be a part of. And what we do face is because we are meant to. And if we have two higher arcana here sitting next to this lower arcana, it's because Spirit is working very hard with us. So what is the gift then? If it is that we are given the wisdom and the intuition, what more can Spirit give to us? The Prince of Cups, that kamikaze, that ability to just keep plowing on and saying, well, okay, you put me into confusion and I figured it out, and now I'm not confused anymore, so I want to move on. And if it doesn't work with you, well, it'll definitely work with someone else. But before I go, can we have a peace making here? Again, with the Uranus coming in here. That surprise that I've been hearing about, even I've been talking about being surprised. The moon brings us that. The moon. It is a surprise when the moon shows up because we don't know. It's hidden. We want to dig deep and look for more answers, or we want to be told, or we can't wait to find out. But this is romance. Again, we have another cup. This is 8 cups. And again, when I say 8 cups, the first thing you think of is you need to leave. But then I say, no, you don't need to leave. You need to seek out more. And it's not just about leaving. It's not about walking away and turning your back. Okay, that is Pisces for you. Going deep within. Pluto, Neptune, it's all here. Pisces, I call it this Uranus, but it's actually Neptune. I think I need to go look up my Uranus and see what's going on. Neptune, that illusion, okay, because that's what confusion is. Whether we confuse ourselves, or we are confusing others, or others are confusing us. But it is about relationship. It is about healing. It is about having that forgiveness if you want it, if you want to offer it, if you want to make an offer. Okay? And again, we can look at it as timing and say, well, the new moon coming up, it should be within the next, I'm sorry, again, I didn't check that date. But it could be near the 12th, I think, for the new moon coming in, because we had a new moon, I think it was on either the 12th or the 15th of last month, but you can check that, okay? Please don't hold on to my astrology. It's a bit offbeat here. But the fact is that confusion that Neptune brings us, it creates that rift, and it creates a shift in deep within. And this is what Spirit wants from us, to shake us up and bring us out of our own personal confusion, or the need that we feel that we need to confuse others because we're confused ourselves. It is forgiveness, but first it has to happen within. Like this healing here, this intuition, following the intuition into making a proposal and trying to make an offer to someone. You need to know why you're going that way. It's not just taken lightly. Okay, I want to be in a relationship with you just because. Because why? I mean, healing a relationship that is devastatingly confused is a near impossible feat, and sometimes the only way to go is to go. But Spirit has given us this prince who is brave enough to make that step forward and say, I want to be with you, I want to offer you a relationship. It's all based on confusion. The way I'm talking, it seems to be I'm confused here. But no, I'm not. And the deck just cracked. Well, it didn't crack, it released. This Eight of Swords is again going around in the mind and wanting to get answers. And this is where the seeking comes in, going in. That Mercury is in full swing going forward now. And that Virgo is that healing element. And if you have Virgo strong in your chart, you're going to feel that need to go within and take a look, see where things need to change in your life and how you want to change. You know, what is it that you really want? What is it that you want a commitment to? What do you want to be committed to? Because this is the commitment here, being committed to placing an offer, making that step forward. You're drawn to it. You're drawn to it. But we see with the Eight, there's our king. We see with the Eight of Swords that we're going around and around in the mind. We're working it out, or at least trying to. And then we have the King of Cups. The King of Cups here is showing that the elevation from the prince to the king. See, he's been thinking about what he really wants. Again, if you just look at these four cards here, we can see that the king is working it out, and he has that strength. Because remember, his throne is held up on emotion. He's very strong. He's deep. His emotions run deep, and he wants to be in a situation of healing, because that's where he is. Mentally, he's working it out to heal the confusion that he himself, I'm sorry. And Mercury is forward moving, and I'm seeing the King of Cups here. This is the King of Pentacles. So stability. I am so sorry. Elevation, again, elevation from that Prince of Cups to the King of Pentacles is more stability, that grounded feeling. Again, with the Virgo, we have two earth elements here to bring in that groundedness and that changing of the mindset, to work out this confusion and end the cycle, because that is what seems to be happening. I'm just going to take these cards here. I don't want to use up the whole deck today. Running out of space as it is. Let's move everything down. I'm so sorry. You see what happens when I don't do lessons on a regular basis? I get a little bumpy start. But I hope you can appreciate my mistakes and see that I'm human. I am human. We have our the world, is this ending a cycle, because this is what the King of Pentacles is going to do. He's going to end the cycle of confusion. Again, we have justice coming in here, so higher corners are heavily weighted here. We even have the Sun, and then we have the Death card, and transformation comes with this because the light is being shown. Justice is coming in. Just desserts are being handed out. The king is making choices, and this is not just a king. This is all of us who are moving forward. We are in Capricorn season. Can't wait to put out the signs and the elements. I haven't done them yet, but I'm coming around to that. But this King of Pentacles is looking for stability. This is what he's thinking about, and wanting to end a cycle of going through this confusion, because you have to have had enough of it in order to change something. And it's coming. Again, Jupiter is bringing in our just desserts. Pluto has shifted. Okay, we had an alignment with Saturn, Uranus, and Jupiter back in November, I think it was, where everything that was sparked, it brought us up to another level to rise above the confusion that we've created in our lives, or others have brought to us, or we've brought to others. I mean, confusion is something we'll never get away from. Even I have come to accept the fact that every time I open up a lesson, chances are I will have more lessons with confusion because of what we go through on a daily basis, or the routines in our lives. Okay, I've become a little more friendly to this card, looking to see more ways of how to go through a sense of choice and how to choose, because that is what the Death card would bring us, and Justice too. These three cards here, the Sun, the Justice, and Saturn, the World, is that culmination. Those planets that I started off talking about, where they're placed and moving forward and coming back, bringing in the routine and changing our lives. We have the Prince here. This determination to take things slowly. This king is looking to make a proposal. Okay? To end confusion. Now, this proposal could be for anything. And I'm just going to say it's for love. It's very romantic. Yes, of course, we cannot take that away from our prince. He's very romantic. So if it is that you are looking, again, we have Uranus right here. If you are looking for a relationship to be healed, well, that's the key to heal that confusion and change. Healing the confusion will bring change, regardless. If you say no to the proposal, if you say no, I don't want, because I have had enough experience with you, and I don't want to be confused anymore, and you confused me. At least you're being honest, because that's the truth. Okay? Now, being that the last card here is the Sun, if you recall the last lesson I did with the Sun, it sheds light on everything. And happiness comes, truth and satisfaction and bounty comes with the Sun. And then the Fool is where we end, where we take that leap of faith, and it may very well be the king that does take that leap of faith. But one way or another, we're moving towards that freedom, because that is true freedom here. To being able to step off into oblivion with no fear, because that is what confusion brings. It brings fear. When you want to confuse things, or you're being confused, you're not sure, that uncertainty is counteracted. Let's take an oracle on this. Major changes are coming, and we could see it here with these last four cards here. Major change, and even with this Death card. But I've been talking about that for some time. It's come up a lot. Okay, and feeling a little scattered. Again, it's the first lesson I've done for a little while, and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that disconnect, reconnecting, and being very honest here with you. Truth, Truth is everything. You have to be truthful, and especially to yourself, if not to others, because you know people that in your circle who you know you can say certain things to and you can't say certain things to. It's not because you're lying, it's because you know their tolerance to certain things that you will say is not high enough to have a conversation with them about certain topics. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a matter of understanding that, you open up to how other people think. You explore who you are through your communication with others. And that is what Mercury coming back into direct mode is bringing in our communication, because we're going to have quite a bit here, and with the confusion in itself. What is the oracle message for this lesson? Thank you, Spirit. The Goddess, being able to discern, that is everything about coming out of the confusion. Neptune is is responsible for making us, and I say making us, it's a question of we have to go through confusion in order to see the light and be more discerning. If you are confused, when you come out of that confusion, you have that strength in you, that you feel that difference. You feel like you can almost fly, on whatever level. Just take it as it resonates. At the bottom of the deck, we have the milk and honey. What comes after that? The rowan, that protection, and that honey again. A lot of sweetness in life. Again, it is about the proposal and that confusion for love. Let's take a read on the Goddess, because we know it is healing. This representation of the Hermit is also, as the 14, we know temperance is taking the time and being patient. Well, it's the same thing with the 9. That Hermit is very wise, and Spirit is giving us this wisdom, the key to help ourselves come out of that confusion. So make sure to feel it in your bones, for you are what you believe. And if you want to stay in the confusion, well, you're not going to have a very productive life. But that is not the way this lesson is flowing. This lesson is flowing to come to true happiness, to come to the light, to come to that love. Again, we see the love through the fire energy. That passion is awoken with the changes. We have a dedication from the Prince who's taking his time. Okay, the qualities of working on the details is what this card brings in, to make a proposal, so that this king now can go forward and end the cycle and have his just desserts, because becoming more discerning. Again, it's going to go back to working on the ego, because the King of Pentacles is representative of the Emperor, who is representative of an ego, wherein confusion is concerned. And then we have our milk and butter. Like the silk off one's flesh, I am the giver, I am your eternal. Again, this is really having that faith, representative of the Fool here, having that faith that Spirit is backing us up. The Hermit, the Moon, the Death card, Justice. We didn't talk much about the Justice, but justice is coming from ending that cycle, and abundance comes with the Sun. So it's looking positive here, and then a new adventure is going to come. Having the faith that that milk will churn and turn into butter is a lot of effort. It does represent the time that it's going to take. But faith in itself is developed through the healing process. And that metamorphosis of change. Spirit is protecting us while we go through it. And even if you're feeling like you're not sure, you're confused, focus on what you really want for yourself first, before you start thinking about what you want of others or from them. Okay? That Rowan is a protection here. We're going to take a look at this one, because this is Spirit really, again, it turns into 7 to 34. The Spirit is really looking at us and saying, no, you're fine. You're fine. You're a little confused, but that's okay. It's okay to be a little confused. You're human. If we're not confused in any stage or point in our life, it's because we're not human. To be human is to be confused. Just think of it that way. And then we go through degrees of evolving from that confusion when we step off into that oblivion and have the faith that Spirit is going to catch us, because we are able to discern and step away from confusion. There is no need to fear, dear one. Protected you are, and protected you will always be. And for that, I thank you for showing up, for your likes, your subscribes, and your shares. Until our next lesson, love and light.